Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsam Sri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanikanscha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah. गौरताई की जय, नरसिंह भगवान की जय, प्रिया प्रभुपाद की जय। शिवा जयो जयो गौरा चांदे आरती के शोभा। जय गौरा चांदे
श्लोक दीवान भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद श्लोक दीवान भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की ISKCON फाउंडर श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासव गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा नगरी गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, नवदीप धाम की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, बृहद की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे और गौरी कुल असंबल बोले और गौरी कुल असंबल बोले और गौरी कुल असंबल बोले और गौरी चंदोरी श्री गुरु and गौरंग और गौरी चंदोरी श्री प्रभुपाद के इस महोत्सव की
Hare Krishna, all devotees, welcome to ISKCON Brampton. We are here to celebrate the 125th appearance day of our founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai! So Srila Prabhupada, as we know, by the instruction of his Guru Maharaj, came to the West and started a spiritual revolution. Without him, we wouldn't have such a wonderful congregation, and not just our ISKCON Brampton congregation, but many congregations all across the world. So, we are here today to do lots of kirtan, abhishekam, offerings, as well as Guru Puja. So next up, we will be starting with the abhishekam. So next up, we will be doing the abhishekam. Before we do the abhishekam, I would like to remind everyone of some COVID protocols. So number one, everyone should be wearing their masks at all times, even when you're in the main temple room, when you're upstairs, when you're in the kitchen. Please make sure to wear your mask at all times. Number two, we recommend everyone not to do Dandavat Pranam, so don't go all the way down to do pranams. Please stand up while you're doing pranam or taking obeisances and darshan. As well, the washrooms are closed, so if you would like to use the washroom, then there is one washroom upstairs, so you could use that one, but please be advised that it's only for emergency purposes. And maintain social distancing at all times. We recommend that everyone maintains a 6 feet distance from everyone, and if you come with your family, stick with your family, and don't let the children wander off by themselves to other places, and maintain social distancing that way. So without any further delay, we would like to move on to the Abhishekam. So let's chant 3 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You can chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Question number 2. At what age did Srila Prabhupada come to the West to spread the Krishna conscious movement? At what age was he? I'll give you 5 seconds one more time. Yes? Ara?
He was in his early 70s.
Sorry, can you repeat your answer?
He was in his early 70s.
Yes, he was in his 70s. Good job, Haribo! Question number 3. What year did Srila Prabhupada make his quest to the West? What year was it? Can anyone tell me the year he came? Yes. Do we have an answer?
1965.
Close.
1965. 1965.
1965. Haribol. Do we want more questions? Please give me a Haribol. Okay. Let's do one more question, shall we? So what year anniversary are we celebrating today? What is the appearance day, the year that we're celebrating of Srila Prabhupada's appearance day? I mentioned this earlier on while I was doing MC introduction. Don't yell the answer, I'll just pick someone who raised their hand. So let's see. Does she know? Okay. What is the answer?
125.
Yes, 125. A big round of applause. All right, so while we wait, we'll do more questions. What was the name that was given to Srila Prabhupada when he was born? So before he was initiated. So let's see, who knows? Wow, we have a lot of hands raised. It looks like a lot of you know the answer from your Sunday school teacher. I haven't asked you. Do you know the answer? Okay, Charan, Haribol. All right. Let's see. Can someone name me one of the works that was written by Srila Prabhupada, like a book that he wrote? Yeah, it's a challenging one. Do you read any books that was written by Srila Prabhupada?
I have one.
You have one, Aru?
Elevation to Krishna consciousness.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Elevation to Krishna consciousness.
Elevation to Krishna consciousness. Wow. Has anyone read that book? Who has read that book? Raise your hand. Come on, only one person has read that book? Wow, Ara. All right, so let's ask questions about the principles that Srila Prabhupada had recommended for us to follow. Number one, what were the recommended minimum number of rounds that Srila Prabhupada has recommended for us to chant? Let me see, who have I not asked before? Yes. What's your name?
Isha. 16 rounds.
Yeah, 16 rounds. Haribol. Do you all chant 16 rounds? I'm asking the kids. No? How many rounds do you chant? 4 rounds. Wow. 5 or 6. 5 or 6? Good job. That's impressive. Anyone else? Ara, how about you?
Same thing as they have.
Same thing as they have? 5 or 6 rounds every day? That's impressive. Anyone else? 6 rounds. Wow, you guys are upgraded devotees. All right, I think we are ready to begin the Abhishekam. I'd request all the devotees to come to the front to see the Abhishekam, and please enjoy. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajnine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastatade Sakarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Thank you for providing us this opportunity to express gratitude to Srila Prabhupada on his 125th anniversary. I have written something, I'll just read out. It is not possible to express gratitude in words. That's why we try to express the gratitude by dedicating our whole life. Srila Prabhupada basically is our life and soul, and he has showed us the path of Sattva-vritti, which means turning our life from uselessness to 100% usefulness and dedication. So the books written by Srila Prabhupada are spiritually so potent and full of training that anybody can make his life successful by reading those books carefully and then implementing those instructions in life. And I want to do book distribution till the end of my life, and I take this vow. This is my gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What does Srila Prabhupada mean to me? To me, Srila Prabhupada is a hero. In the 11 years prior to leaving his material body, he established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he warmly and joyously opened up the door to spiritual bliss and allowed people to become more happier, to realize the real purpose of life. He acted as a Vedic cultural diplomat and spread the Indian traditional culture to the Western side. Some of the contributions that he made, he translated many books that were in the Sanskrit language to English. He has a very profound base in English, and he's a well-known scholar. He also wrote many books that blended in with modern society. Not only that, he established over 100 temples and farms internationally. He established the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, the Back to Godhead magazine, and the free vegetarian meal program that serves devotees with Krishna's prasad, Krishna's mercy. He initiated devotees, a lot of devotees actually, from different cultural backgrounds. He internationally spread the divine love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a 500-year-old gift. Srila Prabhupada, your incredible ability to harmonize Vedic culture, Indian traditional culture, with the modern society is incredibly amazing. And that makes me have ongoing respect and gratitude for you. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada.
What does Srila Prabhupada mean to you?
Thank you. We know Krishna came in this material world to establish dharma in two ways. First, directly incarnation. Krishna came directly himself in this material world. Secondly, Shaktavasavatar. Shaktavasavatar means a living entity, but he is empowered by the Krishna. Prabhupada to me as a Shaktavasavatar of Krishna. Krishna sent him by his power to spread Hare Krishna Mahamantra to everyone all over the world, and the whole world comes to peace. After this life, everyone goes back to Krishna Loka, which is our original residence. Without Prabhupada, we would never get real spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada opened our eyes by the torch of knowledge. Now we know we are the spirit soul. We are not this body. We know the difference between Atma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Also we know there is only one Supreme God and He is Krishna. And we are eternally part and parcel of Krishna. This material world is not our actual living place. Here there are three folds of miseries, and we are controlled by the three modes of material nature. ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada has given us this facility to know real knowledge and how to go back to Godhead, where is our actual living place. So Prabhupada is our real master, relative, well-wisher, most intimate, and he is Shaktavasavatar of Sri Krishna. Jai Sri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Despite being 69 years old, with the bare minimum of necessities and not in the best of health, Srila Prabhupada came to America with one vision in mind: to spread the Krishna consciousness movement in the Western world. The culture, people, and atmosphere were very different for Srila Prabhupada. He was alone in a completely new environment. Yet he marched on. He brought Krishna consciousness to the West, and he was completely surrendered onto Krishna, without a single doubt in his mind that his mission would ever be unsuccessful. Words cannot even begin to describe how indebted I am to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Without him, I'd probably be lost, meandering, trying to find my way through this material world. His relentless efforts, unselfishness, and unparalleled devotion for Krishna is the very reason I have clarity in my life. Inspiring is an understatement. Srila Prabhupada ignited the fire of devotion within me. What was once a dying, meaningless spark of fire turned into a blistering flame for the constant yearning of Krishna Prema. Srila Prabhupada's unmatched energy is a driving force for us all. I want to continue to grow his mission and expand this movement as much as I can. Srila Prabhupada, I want to thank you for everything. Please continue to bless me with the desire of achieving Krishna Prema. Your aspiring servant, Kanch.
Summarize Srila Prabhupada's personality in 3 sentences.
Srila Prabhupada was a man of his words. He follows his Guru's instructions so meticulously and executed with tremendous enthusiasm and courage. Srila Prabhupada was sent by Krishna to bring conditioned soul closer to him, to Krishna. Prabhupada was very articulated in dealing with devotees. Sometimes he expressed so much love and compassion. Another time he came down as a thunderbolt. Whatever works to bring that soul closer to Krishna. His ability to translate and transfer most profound and difficult to understand Vedic scriptures into simple and digestible English language. Srila Prabhupada, our gratitude and our thanks, millions of thanks to you. Because of you, we have transformed our life and continuously working towards our purification and towards the goal of our life, Prema Bhakti to Shri Radha Giridhari. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What does
Srila Prabhupada mean to us? Srila Prabhupada means a lot to us. Srila Prabhupada is a source of inspiration and was so inspired by everything that Srila Prabhupada has done for us. And we can never be grateful enough or thankful enough to what he has given us.
From so many things, we talk about the books, we talk about the association, we talk about the movement. Everything means a lot to us.
At such a advanced age, just to fulfill the instructions of his spiritual master, he traveled so far to come to the West and give us and distribute this knowledge. And after going through so much difficulties, but the only thing that kept him going was the instructions of his Guru and Krishna's mercy and the firm determination. So it's so inspirational.
Yeah. And when we look at what Srila Prabhupada did, he left his comfortable situation in India, in Vrindavan, where he could have stayed and just do his own sadhana and be there, happy there. But he traveled, despite so many health problems, he traveled, he came to the West to give us that knowledge. And we are thankful, and what we learn from this is that we sometimes become complacent when we are in a comfortable situation and we sit there and enjoy. But when we look at Srila Prabhupada's example, we realize that we have to get out of our comfortable situation and try to give that knowledge to others also and share what we've got from Srila Prabhupada.
And also Srila Prabhupada, he took everything that we have in the Vedic scriptures, he summarized it for all of us, for our benefits and future generations, by translating the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and making it simple enough for us to understand. And at the same time, he set up ISKCON, and it's like a big family where we are all doing all the things that is mentioned in the Shastra, by attending the Sunday feast, reading books, distributing books, prasadam, everything is there, and he made it so easy for us that all we have to do is just follow the principles, and then everything will be taken care.
Even the 4 regulative principles that he has set up is from the Shastra. Like we actually, by following those 4 regulative principles, we are actually maintaining the 4 pillars of Dharma. And he set that up in a way so that we are making sure that our future generation have a better place to live. So we are very grateful, very thankful for him for sharing that with us, so that our kids, our next generation, have a better place and a better, like everything is provided to them, the books and the Shastra, the books, the association and everything, and even the movement, ISKCON movement, present for us, for our future generation. Okay?
So on this auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja, Srila Prabhupada, please bless us so we can follow your footsteps and we continue to serve you and your devotees, and we try to be Krishna conscious. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. One of my favorite quotes by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, is as follows: "A humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater." I believe this quote from chapter 5, text 18 of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, perfectly embodies the true essence of Krishna consciousness. Knowing that we are the soul and not the body, as devotees we realize that although materially we all look different, the difference in these bodies hold no importance in the eyes of Krishna, as he is ever present in all of our lives and all of our hearts. Srila Prabhupada always emphasized and highlighted the importance of equal respect between devotees, which is why this quote stands out to me and I find it so important. I plan to implement this very important teaching in my life by continuing to ensure that I look at my peers equally, look past the differences, and appreciate the diversity of bodies. This will help all of us in maintaining peaceful relationships with fellow devotees and overcoming differences, just as how Srila Prabhupada wanted it to be. Hare Krishna.
I offer my humble obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is the reason we are all in this wonderful community of ISKCON today. He left behind everything, his wife, his children, his home, and his country, to come preach to the West. He opened over 100 temples worldwide, wrote more than 7,000 letters to his disciples, went around the world to speak the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 12 times, and created the Back to Godhead magazine, all under the instructions of his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who told him to go preach to the West. There is a lot to learn from Srila Prabhupada, as he was very dedicated and never gave up on his task of spreading Krishna consciousness to the West and turning many hippies into religious, God-minded people who then became just as dedicated as him. My favorite quote from Srila Prabhupada is, "You are the young generation. You are the flower of your country and society. Practice this most sublime system, Krishna consciousness, be happy and make others happy. This is the real mission." This is because this quote is aimed more towards young people and how they contribute to ISKCON, and it motivates me to keep serving Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Happy Prabhupada Appearance Day.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, so the first question is yours. What is your favorite quote by Srila Prabhupada and why?
The quote that touches me very, very much from Srila Prabhupada is about the kids. He says that these are not ordinary children. These are children given to us by Krishna. They are Vaishnavas. They are the kids from Vaikuntha. And I really like this quote because he says that we have to take care of them. So this actually, even if we look at it materially, people say that kids are the future, which I agree. So future is for ISKCON, that is spirituality, is in kids' hands, as well as the future that we want them to get into. It's all in there. The upbringing that we give to them during their childhood years is what is going to bring the bright future for themselves and the society in general. So it is for the betterment of the kids as well as the society in general. That is why it touches me a lot.
Hare Krishna, my name is Shobik, and this is my favorite Srila Prabhupada quote. Srila Prabhupada said, "A pure devotee is he who loves Krishna without any material desire. Such pure devotees are very rare, but by the grace of Krishna, practically all the devotees and disciples who have kindly joined me, their symptoms are pure devotees." And Srila Prabhupada wrote this as a letter to Janaki Devi Dasi. Now the reason I love this quote so much is because it answers a main general question that most people have of what is the main component that truly makes a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. And the simple answer was answered in this quote, which is simply to love Lord Krishna without having any material desires. Another benefit of this quote is to show the significance of the association of other pure devotees and having them in your lives, as they will make you very happy just like it made Srila Prabhupada very happy. And this will ultimately help you reach Lord Krishna much faster. Hare Krishna and Jai Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
What is something about Srila Prabhupada's life or journey that inspires you, and why?
Srila Prabhupada's life has been very inspiring to us. We feel that, he was a God-sent person. His teachings to all of us about Krishna consciousness has been key in our lives.
Prabhupada's teachings have inspired to be more God-loving, engage in seva, and associate with more devotees. From Srila Prabhupada, we learned the importance of offering and eating prasadam, kirtan, and we started doing it regularly.
So Srila Prabhupada's, books have helped us, continue in our spiritual journey. It has been really a blessing to us.
Yeah, and it is really amazing that at the age of 69 that he started his Western world journey at the instruction of his Guru Maharaj.
His determination and dedication, to fulfill his Guru Maharaj's movement and spread Krishna consciousness has been a really great inspiration. And I personally feel that, it really pushed us to complete all my chanting rounds, no matter how busy I may be, and continue our association with devotees at the same time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is something about Srila Prabhupada's life and journey that inspires you, and why?
See, if we carefully analyze Srila Prabhupada's life, what was constant and consistent throughout was struggle. Be it his initial days of hardship in India, when he was trying to get his books printed, or his journey to the US in a cargo ship, or for that matter his endeavor to start and establish this Krishna consciousness movement, struggle was very much constant. Yet what was remarkable and exemplary was his mood of surrender and service attitude to Krishna. He just wanted to be a humble servant, a humble instrument in the grand scheme of Krishna's plan.
So true.
Now, the question that comes back to our mind is that what is it that we can learn from this?
Well, as practicing devotees, we are not immune to the adversities of life, but the litmus test lies in our sincerity in devotional service, even under the most distressing and disturbing circumstances. We must learn how to depend on Krishna all the time, just the way Srila Prabhupada did. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's life and journey are one of the biggest inspirations in my life. I've grown up hearing stories about how dedicated and fearless he was to come into a new country and establish Krishna consciousness. Even though he faced many challenges throughout his journey, he never gave up. This is something that truly inspires me. Srila Prabhupada's appearance, his teachings, and his disappearance are all extremely valuable for us. They set an example for us, showing us how we can engage in the many forms of Krishna service throughout our life. Not only did Srila Prabhupada show us the path to Krishna consciousness, but he also simplified the Vedic scriptures for us, making it easier for us to understand and apply to our life. I feel truly inspired by Srila Prabhupada when I think about all that he has accomplished and taught us. I take this opportunity on Srila Prabhupada's 125th Appearance Day to remember him and to thank him for the wonderful Krishna conscious environment he has set up for us to follow. Hare Krishna.
लाइफ या जर्नी में से आपको सबसे ज्यादा क्या इंस्पायर किया है और क्यों?
श्रीला प्रभुपाद का दृढ़ निश्चय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद ने दृढ़ निश्चय से अपने गुरु के वाक्यों के ऊपर चले और उन्होंने ये नहीं सोचा कि कितनी मुश्किलें आ रही हैं या क्या, पर उन्होंने अपने गुरु के वाक्यों को हृदय से लगाया। गुरु मुख पद्म वाक्य चिते ते कौरिया क्या, और ना कोई हो मनी आशा। ये वाला जो है दृढ़ निश्चय श्रीला प्रभुपाद का, वो बहुत ही सुंदर है। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is our eternal father who devoted his whole life for us. He taught us how can we get out of repeated cycle of birth and death. He showed us how we should live our lives in Krishna consciousness. He also told us what's the real meaning of love. And ultimately he gave us Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's life inspired us in so many ways. The things which inspired us most are his dedication towards his spiritual master, which teaches us how important is Guruvani, to what extent we should dedicate our lives to fulfill the desire of our spiritual master.
Srila Prabhupada, simple living and high spiritual standards inspire us in our daily lives as to how he through his own example taught us that Krishna consciousness is simple if we ourselves don't make it complicated. Through his books, his disciples, his temple and his imperishable lectures, he continued to inspire us how we should live and see in this world, always keeping Krishna in the center of our lives. Srila Prabhupada, please give us shelter onto your lotus feet so that somehow we can serve you, your mission and your devotee in our own insignificant way, which will be pleasing to you. Your aspiring servant, Aditya
Sunana.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to our beloved grandfather, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So today we'll be talking about some of the qualities of Srila Prabhupada. There are many, many qualities in Srila Prabhupada, and we can talk and talk about those. But we have to restrict ourselves to only 3 qualities of Srila Prabhupada.
I am deeply inspired by his unflinching absolute faith upon his master. When he first came to US, his hands were empty, but his heart was extremely rich with faith upon his Lord, with determination that he will achieve the dream of his Guru Maharaj Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, with endless, selfless love for suffering humanity at large in the difficult cycle of birth and death.
He is no less than a gem called Touchstone. He touched the lives of millions of people around the world through his literature, his lectures, his simplicity and high thinking, and transformed them into first-class human beings.
And his universal peace formula for the entire humanity. One God, Lord Shri Krishna, one religion, Sanatana Dharma, and one mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His entire life is a mission impossible, and to achieve this mission, he crucified every aspect of life, his health, his time, his energy, his family and loved ones, you name it, just to make this world a better place to live, and died to live forever.
We salute our Savior, a best friend forever and a truly noble leader and hero, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Happy appearance day, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. It's very difficult to describe an exalted devotee like Srila Prabhupada in 3 sentences. However, in response to this question, 3 sentences I feel that summarize him very well are: a pure devotee who delivers the mercy of Krishna to us, hence making him the most magnanimous and charitable disposition of mind. a guru who personally delivered all aspects of Krishna consciousness to us from our worship to our sadhanas. Even if we try to repay him with all the spiritual karma we accumulated in this birth, we will still not be able to repay Srila Prabhupada for the mercy he has bestowed upon us. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Happy appearance day, Srila Prabhupada. It is only because of your merciful foresight that fallen souls like ourselves have some hope under the shelter of ISKCON and our bona fide spiritual master. Everything Srila Prabhupada did and said has become our aspiration. One quality that always awed us about Srila Prabhupada is how he never criticized anyone, only enthusiastically appreciated and glorified that person even if he saw the slightest trace of a desire in a person to serve Krishna. It didn't matter what else he was doing. Chain smokers, drug addicts, alcoholics. It was only because of this infinite forgiveness that Srila Prabhupada was able to change people's hearts and spread the glories of Krishna consciousness all over the world.
It is amazing to hear such a rare quality in Srila Prabhupada, not to criticize others. Today's world, at least for me, most of the times I see faults in others and criticize them.
I think I do that all the time as well. What should we do?
Lots of lessons to be learned and to be practiced. Definitely our intention is not to imitate Srila Prabhupada, and that should not be our goal. Our goal should be absorbing in Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission and put that into practice. What it means to us is that what we think, what we speak, and what we do, all should be focused on Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission, which is distributing Krishna consciousness and bringing everyone closer to Krishna. If criticizing being an obstacle for that objective, then we should sincerely work towards seeing only goodness in others. That should be our goal.
I know. Unless we begin to acquire this quality, we cannot really effectively preach on behalf of our spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the first book that I read by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada was Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. And this book has influenced my life in so many different ways and really improved my journey in Krishna consciousness. It has answered questions that I've had growing up, and these deeply philosophical questions, Srila Prabhupada answers in simple, concise, meaningful ways. It answers questions about the three modes of material natures, how to become a better devotee, and how to offer prasadam, and so many different ways to truly understand spiritual life and bhakti. So I'm really grateful to Srila Prabhupada for writing this book and allowing me to become a better devotee.
Hare Krishna. Next, Prabhu, this is your question. What was the first book you read by Srila Prabhupada, and how did it influence your journey in Krishna consciousness?
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So first book I read of Srila Prabhupada before I joined ISKCON was Perfect Question and Perfect Answer. So actually it is injustice to our dear Srila Prabhupada if I say I need to pick only one book, because all Srila Prabhupada books are his blood and sweat. So all the books are real nectar, but I really like Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. The reason why, this is such a small book, but the philosophy is so deep. I mean, not philosophy, the logic is so deep. This book is not a real philosophy. Like everyone, like all age group can read this book and implement. So this book has such a big impact in my life when I gone through this book. This book is very simple to understand, very logical, and this book I would consider is the pillar of Krishna consciousness, because we all know we have certain rules and regulations have to follow. So once I read this book, and I'm so convinced, I'm so strong, and I was decided to go ahead in my sadhana. So I like Perfect Questions and Perfect Answer so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Shreya, and the first book that I read by Srila Prabhupada was Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. This book was a conversation by Srila Prabhupada and Bob Cohen, who was a Peace Corps worker in India. I really enjoyed reading this book because the questions that were directed towards Srila Prabhupada were very basic and simple, and they were the same questions that I had when I was reading this book at the age of 10. I also really liked the explanations that were given by Srila Prabhupada. I felt that his examples were very practical and easy to understand, hence why I would recommend this book to any newcomers who are new to Krishna consciousness or Bhakti Yoga, because it is a very simple read, it is also a very quick read, and it is catered to people of all ages. This book was important to me because it helped me to appreciate the works of Srila Prabhupada, and it also encouraged me to read all his other books. There are also important verses from the Bhagavad Gita, so it also encouraged me to read the Bhagavad Gita, which contains the answers to all our questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, what does Srila Prabhupada mean to you?
Srila Prabhupada to me is a great pure devotee who came from the spiritual world to the material world to deliver the conditioned soul like us. And that is the reason why in his pranam mantra we say Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale. Bhutale is the material world. That's where he came to deliver the conditioned soul like us.
What is your favorite quote by Srila Prabhupada and why?
I really like the quote where Srila Prabhupada said, chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles and I will open the back door for you. So that is the simplest and easiest way to attain our original identity.
What is something about Srila Prabhupada's life or journey that inspires you and why?
The whole life of Srila Prabhupada is very inspirational. The main thing which he had, that was the full faith in Krishna, and he was always eager to fulfill the desire of his Guru Maharaj.
Can you summarize Srila Prabhupada's personality in 3 sentences?
He was great visionary. He could envision temples all around the world. He had firm faith in Krishna, and most importantly, he never ever compromised on the devotional principle, whenever he was in India or whether he was in the US or in the West. He never compromised.
What was the first book you read by Srila Prabhupada and how did it influence your journey in Krishna consciousness?
The first book that I read was Journey of Self-Realization, where Prabhupada had conversation with various personalities in the world, and that really reminds me that the kind of philosophy that he's given is so immense that it changed the entire life of every human being. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Prabhupada.
The final segment of our program. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
The lotus feet of the spiritual master are the abode of pure devotional service. I bow down to those lotus feet with great care and attention. My dear brother, my dear mind, it is through the grace of the spiritual master that we can cross over this material existence and obtain Krishna. Make the teachings from the lotus mouth of the spiritual master one with your heart, and do not desire anything else. Attachment to the lotus feet of the spiritual master is the best means of spiritual advancement. By his mercy, all desires for spiritual perfection are fulfilled. He who has given me the gift of transcendental vision is my Lord birth after birth. By his mercy, divine knowledge is revealed within the heart, bestowing prema bhakti and destroying ignorance. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. O spiritual master, ocean of mercy and friend of the fallen souls, you are the teacher of everyone and the life of all people. O master, be merciful unto me and give me the shade of your lotus feet. May your glories now be proclaimed throughout the two worlds.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sana Shri Guru Charana Padma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sana Mando mohi savadhana Mando mohi savadhana Hara prasade bhava He bhavaturiya jaya Tujhe pyare karo Krishna prapti hoye jaya Krishna prapti hoye jaya Guru Mantra Padma Bhakta Chitete Koriya Harana Koriya Harana Koriya Shri Guru Chandrani Ati Aise Uttama Prasade Puri Vitasare pure
बराबर
Bhakti Joy, Bhakti Joy, Hridaya Jamala Charito, Hridaya Jamala Charito, Guru Karuna Guru Adamata Lokena Lokera Jivana Lokena Lokera Jivana Mahaprabhu Karo Jaya Deo More Padaya Mahaprabhu Karo Jaya Deo More Padaya Hridaya Jukutivana Hridaya Jukutivana Bhagava Pandita Parana Prabhupada Govinda Sharana Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Nama Krishna Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Gurave Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asatari Shatani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Prabhupada Brahma Sabra Jagacharya Stotra His Divine Grace Abhay Narayana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Prabhupada Brahma Sabra Jagacharya Stotra His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय ISKCON फाउंडर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय नवदीप धाम की जय मायापुर धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय वृंदन की जय सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees All glories and glories and glories and Guru and Governor. All glories and glories and glories to the Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Appearance Mahotsav ki Jai.
Jai, thank you, Prashant Prabhu, for that very ecstatic kirtan. What a lovely way to end our program today. So now I'd like to thank all our devotees for attending our program, especially after such a grand Janmashtami program we had yesterday. And so now please stay tuned for any upcoming updates for the rest of the week, and see you next Sunday. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai!